So excellent connection. Let's do this then, since it's telling me we've got an excellent connection. All right, looks like everything is set up for YouTube and for doing a live stream today. And I'm just 2 minutes early, so just sent out a notification on Discord as well. So hey everybody, this isn't officially starting up yet. I'm gonna go ahead and minimize this one for just a moment. And we do have the live chat over in the right hand side, so that's all set. So I'm just going to drag that all the way down just in case if folks want to chat a little bit. And let's double check and make sure. All right. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just a few minutes early. I always like to get these things set up, and one of these days I need to see somebody else's setup with OBS. I know that they can bind keys and things to do different tasks on OBS, and I think I need to start doing that so that I don't have to bounce between all these screens. Just one more screen to double check, make sure, okay, the stream is looking good, and we're going to start in just a moment. So I put out a notification a little while ago that I'd be doing this at 10:45 Pacific Standard Time, and here we are, 10:45 Pacific Standard. All right, let's make sure audio looks like it's picking up good, and hopefully it's not too loud, and hopefully the swamp cooler in the background won't drown me out here. Okay, let's go ahead and minimize this one as well. All right, minimizing that one, and it is officially 10:45 now. So I don't know if anyone's going to show up or not, but we'll start this up. So hey everybody, and as always, welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Rich Charpentier, and normally we talk about drones and building your small drone business and doing autonomous flight or doing manual flights, photography, videography. There's a lot we can do with our drones. And over the past couple of months, we've been talking more and more about you building your own small drone business and some of the things that go into it. And one of the items that people have been very interested in here is how I do some of my drone deliverables for clients. And as a matter of fact, a couple months ago, I decided to build a new site. So we have AZ Drone, of course, and at azdrone.net, we've got a lot of clients hosted there where we have done different types of construction progression reporting for them, utilizing web pages in addition to other data that we pass along to them. And I decided to make a standalone site that's just all about new construction and new builds, be it residential or commercial, or multifamily residential, like some high-end condos, for instance. And I have to say that the work that we've been doing is getting more and more interest from the heads of construction groups, different builders, also real estate agents and brokerages, and finally also the actual buyers, the home buyers, the people who want to see the progress of their new home being built, making sure that everything's on time and on schedule, and that they're going to get their move-in date just like they thought they would. So this morning I've spent since 6:30. And so here we are at 10:45. I've spent most of my morning working on roughing out some more stuff on the new seemybuild.com. And I've been sharing some of this in recent videos, regular video uploads, and also live streams here, and also Zoom meetings over on my Patreon channel for patrons. So today we're going to take a look at what's gone into what I've been doing. So I've got a couple of properties. We're doing some testing. So I'm going to be passing this along to the real estate agent that I'm working with some of these. And I'm going to have him looking through them to see the stylization and everything that he would like to see delivered for some of his customers. Now, the main page is seemybuild.com. This is still a big rough draft, but we've got a lot of projects going on. So I'm starting to put the new projects on SeeMyBuild, and you will not be able to see all of them. It's going to depend on our clients and whether or not they want their videos and their models made public, or whether they prefer to keep them private. And we do have a way to create private pages for clients so that only them and the people that they share the links with and the passwords with can get into it. But we're gonna be talking to a couple of customers and make sure that we do have some open and available to the public so that you can get an idea of some of the things that we're doing with them. So this morning, spending all this time on the website and what has gone into it. So I'm just going to hit my little move screens here really quickly for you. And taking a look at these screens, we can see upper left-hand side, I have Photoshop open. Right over here, I've actually got one of the project folders open. I've also got the websites for See My Build and access to some of the pages that I've been building this morning. So working there. Also, I have lower left Kino, which is the video management platform that I use. I discovered it a couple of years ago. I did a search on the internet saying Lightroom management for video because I do like Lightroom's image management. And what kept popping up for me was Kino, and this has been an absolutely fantastic video management platform to help me organize all of the projects that we're doing. We'll take a closer look at these after it. And then also, of course, we've got Final Cut up because I'm doing this video editing here. So I'm making different videos for properties, May, June, July, August, September. You get the idea where we're doing time lapses or we're doing standalone videos for our clients. And so part of our deliverables is the video presentations as well. So if you're starting up into this business and say you did develop an interest in the type of construction work that we're doing here in Prescott, Arizona, you could probably build something similar in your state, your region, and you're going to have some level of competency with Photoshop or something like Photoshop, Affinity Photo or GIMP Photo. There are a lot of photo applications out there for you. So you're going to need to be able to do your post-processing on your still images and on your video. But on the still images, Photoshop and Affinity Photo, that's mostly what we're using here. Managing all of this, for managing all of my still images, I utilize Lightroom. For managing all of the video and sometimes still images as well, I'm using Kino. Assembling all of these videos, that's where Final Cut Pro comes in for me. You could be using Premiere Pro or DaVinci. Doesn't matter what video editor you're working with, so long as you're comfortable with it and you can make a nice presentation for your clients. And then finally, in my case, for how we're doing these custom web pages for clients, you're going to need to know a little something about web development or have somebody in your life who knows something about web development to help you get started with it. Now, we do talk about some of this stuff on our Patreon channel, so if you want to go check over the Patreon, it's just patreon.com/richcharpentier. And we do share a lot of info there. And on our Zoom meetings, we actually have gone and walked through some of the web building that I do. So speaking of that, let's head on over to the See My Build site for a second. So this one's finally coming together. We've had a lot of projects and a lot of distractions and new flight projects. So I'm getting myself caught up, and literally I am caught back up today with the final video that I did. I'm sure that the realtor that I'm working with will want some things moved around and changed around, and we can do that. So we'd like to make it aesthetically pleasing while not going over the top as well. The big thing that we're sharing here for our clients, for the builders, for the buyers, for the brokers, is we're sharing these progression videos and progression stills and progression ortho mosaics to give them an idea of where their project is at. So with that in mind, I'm a little utilitarian when it comes to the website layout. I don't need to go over the top on this. People are coming here to see images and video of their homes and also other layouts. We do have some explanation of what See My Build is all about, and I will be updating it and adding it. These were more placeholders for myself. But what I really wanted to get to, building these pages, these custom pages for our clients. So on the front page, we're talking about some of the things that we can do. So example of still imaging, and we can actually do slideshows. Of course, video time lapse from week to week, month to month, year to year, however you want to do it. We refly the same flight paths for our clients. So we do offer to our clients. So this week, I was working on one of the newest projects that we have. So it's still a raw land site. It just got bulldozed recently, but this is one potential layout. So what I'm doing here with all the work that I've done this morning on this is I'm giving a couple of different layout ideas to the realtor that I'm working with so I can get some feedback from him and see where we'd like to place things, see how much written content we want versus the visual content. So, and also in some of these, we are utilizing the realtor's Vimeo account. because they don't want all the advertising that comes with YouTube. So you can do these things on YouTube as well, or you could even do it on Twitch or Vimeo, whatever you desire. So this is one suggested layout for me, so we'll see the responses. He's already seen the initial mock-up of this page. Excuse me there. We also did do a 360-degree still image at the location as well. We can do multiple ones for that. If I click into this one, we're just waiting on it. And by the way, just fair warning, I'm going to go down and check what the stream says it's doing. It says it has an excellent connection. And now it says not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. My apologies for that. I forgot to mention at the outset of this video here today, we have been having network dropping out for the past couple of days. Right before I came into the studio here to come and chat with you, I was looking up the street and there's a Sparklight truck. That's Sparklight, the cable internet provider here in our area. And they've been on our street for 3 days in a row now. So they've got the bucket truck out there. So for all I know, the video and audio completely drops out. Hopefully it will still record it. And let me double check this. Okay, we're back to excellent connection again. So there we go. That's all right. So anyways, back to our topic. So I did one simple 360 on the site just to give them an idea, the builder and the construction management, an idea of, you know, where we can place the drone for doing the 360s. And so here's the back dirt way that will become a road at some point in the near future. So this is just one of the other options. And, you know, in the end, when we present these to the actual buyers, we'll have these cleaned up and polished up just a bit more. So there we go. All right, and then finally back down to some still images where we do have a slideshow showing off the location where the building's going to be occurring. You can see where some of the trees have been cut down in this area, and then they recently bulldozed it, flattened it out. And in the video that we did here, we've got a really nice video lifting off from that location. So if you'd like to at the moment, you can absolutely pop by seemybuild.com. And if you see the web address here, so seemybuild.com/az/15-375-north-high-lonesome-way-August-2021. Somebody is going to need to go clean up his permalinks on the website to give people shorter options, which I have done with the other pages, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. So there we go, those still images, and then another example while the client was not looking for a 3D model or even an orthomosaic model. I went ahead and flew one anyways. If you've got a little extra time on site and you can show your clients some other potential tools that could be valuable to them, you know, always make sure that that you're looking at that other sales opportunity. The client might have called you for video and stills only, but if you've got a few moments to put together a 360, or if you've got an extra battery and it's a small site, you could fly a grid pattern with Drone Harmony, with Map Pilot, with Ground Station Pro, whichever ones you choose to use, and you can make a quick model for them as well. So this one's already been shown off multiple times. I know the realtor has been showing it to several of the folks that he knows. I'm going to kill my audio output here, but just want to move this up, and this might cause problems for the network as well. But no, it's not, so that's good. All right, there we go. So I actually went to the center of the pad area with the drone, hovered it extremely low, just so that we could get that idea of where is this build location. So the folks who've already seen this were pretty thrilled with the overall video, and they really like this top-down approach as well, so that they could see that building pad area extremely clearly to them. And then, of course, some additional flight in there as well to show off different parts of the property. Now, when we return to this property, we will start into actually documenting the construction. So stage one will be in there flying to cover the concrete pour for the building's foundation, of course. So this is one of our sample pages. By the way, you're very welcome to leave comments in the chat if you have any questions. I am taking a look over. Like I said, I know this is an impromptu video today, so I know that a lot of people will have missed the live, but probably you'll come back for the replay afterwards, so that's all right too. I wasn't planning this, but as I was working on this, I said to myself, this is a good opportunity to show people all of the tools that I'm having to use to pull together these construction progression reports. So, and by the way, this is becoming a hit with several of the construction groups in the Prescott area. So I've had more inquiries, and we will be doing more job sites for folks. All right, so the next one, this is something that the realtor asked me about, is that we have a clearinghouse page. So for the customer, for the potential homeowner, or for the homeowner, they can come to a main page and then get to sub pages to see the differences. But the realtor had suggested to me, hey, when they hit the page, let's have the most recent flight right there. So, this one jumps out and grabs them so they can see the latest flight, which was actually August 9th and 16th. So I labeled the video inappropriately because I did both the 9th and the 16th. And then we have the information. We also have a little advertising material for the realtor, since he's backing some of these pages. So so he gets a little plug right at the beginning, and then the buyers get to see how things are coming along. So let me just slide right on up here so that you can see just part of one of the flights. So this is part of one of the this is Three Forks Road. And so it's a short fly through showing the major changes. They've been waiting on the tiles for the rooftops for quite a while. So all that came in, and we got that nice close-in view of it as we were panning right on through there. We also did some orbits of this and some other flyovers of this as well. So when they come to that main page, now remember that crazy web address I gave you before, because that was during my initial setup. We've reduced this down to cmybuild.com/az/Hughes. So now all the client really has to remember is the /AZ and then their own last name. After seeing the latest flight, they can also migrate down here to see their previous flights. So I'm using WordPress and the X theme, and one of the tools I use is called Essential Grid, which makes these automated grid layouts for you that will pull from pages or posts. It's not working as good as it used to because now all of the new features are pay-for features. So, I never mind paying developers, but I've got a half dozen different websites with Essential Grid on it. So I'm going to have to start developing my own grid skins to make the layouts the way I want to, or else sign up with them on their yearly payment plan for pre-made grids that probably look better than this. But when I come down and I look at the grid, if I point my mouse pointer down here, it flips over, and this is 4971 Three Forks Road, first flight, May 2021. Let's look at the next one. 4971 Three Forks again, May and June, because we do have some overlap there and some progression time lapsing going on. And then we have May through July. So I introduced the May version all the way through to the July flight as well. So they can go in and look at any of them so they can see the most recent point in progression. But if they want to go back in time to see how it all started, they can. Now, on this particular project, I was late. Hey, thanks, Snapshot Drones. Good to see you on here. And let me know if we're having any problems with the net. Like I said, we've got Sparklight right up the road. They're doing some kind of work on the cable, and we've been having some internet problems. So if it gets glitchy or anything, just let me know in the comments, please. I just want to know what's happening. So anyways, they get this look at the most recent one, but they can also go back in time to see those previous. Unfortunately, when we started this project, let's go ahead and go click on this one, shall we? When we started this project, we were late to the party. The structure had already been put up. The foundation was already done. It was awesome. Awesome to see, but a bummer from my perspective because I really wanted to show things from the ground up. All of our new projects going forward that we have, and we have several more. I've got several flights next week, even though I'm supposed to be taking a vacation. I'm going to take a mini vacation. I'll tell you about that in a few too. But in the meantime, we've got several new flights that we need to do next week because they're going to be breaking ground. All good to go. Thanks, Snapshot Drones. Awesome. All right. So as you can see with this one, structure's already up, but we did a couple of orbits of this. We did a couple of stills in here. In addition to that, so we didn't have any additional things because this was a test with the realtor and myself as to what he wanted. So he said, hey, could you just drive by this one, check it out for a couple minutes, do a little something with it. But this has become part of one of our paying contracts as well. But so in the case of this one, we didn't do ortho mosaics. We didn't do 3D modeling. He just wanted to get some imaging and video to share with the home buyer. And so we've got that one. I can go back here. I'm leaving breadcrumbs on here. So if you'll notice right below the main header bar, we've got the particular page we're on, or I can go back to Hughes. I can also go back to Arizona builds. So we're going to be breaking this out state by state, and I'm already talking with a couple other drone operators right now if they'd like to utilize the platform. So, and several of the folks on our Patreon channel, I'm going to be talking to you guys about this too, because if you would like to do these types of presentations, but the web development side's outside of your area of expertise, I think we can do something together. So I'll be talking to you guys about that a little more soon. All right, so that was the first test that we did for them. So there's our layout, and we've got the other flights for them as well. Let's head on over to the next one. This is Double Adobe Road. So this one I was thrilled with because we got to it right when they were getting ready to do the concrete pour. By the way, you might notice some differences in the layout from screen to screen, that a box is a little smaller or a box is a little bigger. Until we finalize how we want these to look between the realtor and the builder, I'm giving them a couple of little options and leaving some space here and there. And fortunately, fine-tuning these things is pretty easy and pretty straightforward for me because I've been using WordPress since like 2005, yeah, something like that, and been using Xthemes since 2014 or 2015. So I do know my way around these. So we can resize this, but once again, this is another one. So North Double Adobe Road right now, the construction is ongoing. We did get there before the concrete pour, and we've had some other fun with it. So once again, the realtor who's also dealing with these folks, we've got his information on here as well, because he does more than just real estate. He matches up buyers with construction groups and other folks in the area as well beyond just construction. So he kind of does a lot of extra service for his real estate clients, and going down the road of doing pages like these, he's been a great help with this as well. So this is their latest flight. There's some fun flying in this one, to be honest. So we got a couple of interesting pan throughs flying over the property as the roofing materials are going up, and so you can see a lot of the change. And right now, like I said, these aren't private. We will be making them private later. So if you're on here right now, check them out before we lock some of these down. But as I've said previously on other videos, the home buyers, the folks who these buildings are being created for, have been thrilled with these videos, and they've been showing them off to friends and neighbors. So our initial flight for Double Adobe, you can even see on the little graphic there, that was the day that they were pouring the concrete. Then the next one, after the concrete cured, they started doing some of the walls. Finally, over into here, we see some more wall and structure going up. And then this newest big flight that we're putting at the top. This big flight actually has some folks in there. They're doing the construction work. The roof's getting ready to actually get covered very soon. So I'll probably be returning there in 2 weeks as well. You don't have to do these every single week, by the way. So keep that in mind when you're talking to your clients, because sometimes they might think that this is going to get a little expensive, a flight every week. And yeah, if it was a flight every week, it could get expensive. But in the case of a lot of these builds, I'd say every 2 to 4 weeks going out should be enough to refly your flight paths. And then when you get back, because we've been so busy recently, I've been stockpiling a couple projects. Normally what I do when I get back from the field, I get to the studio. 9 times out of 10, it's lunchtime, I grab lunch. I then go through all of the materials that I collected for the clients, and I go through and do my still image editing, and I prep all of the video as well. So usually within 24 hours, I've got the new page prepped and ready to go. We let that slide a little bit because of other projects going on recently, but we're going to be doing, our normal day is now going to be 1 client flight for 1 full page build. So there we go. And let's head back over. So there's the main page again. So all of this stuff is getting built. Let's just bop back in here. And you don't have to be a WordPress. You don't have to understand WordPress here. I'm not going to go way in depth. But WordPress is the web builder that I utilize. And of course, there are other web builders out there. Big one that everybody knows, Squarespace. You can do some of this. just want a major change. Yeah, snapshot drones, it's if we know that something's coming in, like the realtor Chad let me know that they're going to be bulldozing some properties next week. They've already done some of the clearing, so now they're bringing the D8 out. So that's a big one because that's going to be flattening the pad out. We can actually get the D8 doing some of the work. So that's definitely a flight we want to do. And then the next time that we want to be back there is the concrete pour. So they'll probably be doing stuff around the landscape area afterward before they hit that pour. But we want to be there for that concrete pour. And then what we'd like to do next is we'd like to be there for framing up the building. Once that building gets closed up, once the roof is closed up, once the walls are closed up, there's very little more for the drone to do until its final flight doing a showcase of everything. But so, we want to see that initial construction. We want to see that building closed up. We want to see the siding go on and see the pretty colors or the terrible colors. If you look around my website, you'll see a couple of our recent flights, and you'll find the one that's the terrible color. But anyways, once that's all closed up, the drone is kind of getting put away. But we're also looking into some other things where we're doing some interior work as well for the clients. And Mark H. from over on the Patreon channel, this is your idea, man, and I'm going to be executing it this weekend. So on our next Zoom meeting, which is not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday, I'll tell you all about it, Mark. So it's all yours. So yeah, we're talking about going inside now, and Mark had actually thrown me a great idea that I'd considered before, but he's actually got a couple clients doing it. I mentioned it to the realtor that we're working with. He thought it was an awesome idea. So this weekend, I'm going to take a quick drive by and do some interior stuff, which I'll share down the road here as well. So here we are on the web page building. So all of the new stuff that I've put together, they're all pages. So this is where we can find all of our pages. So about us, the Arizona builds, and then some of the client pages. You can see little double dashes. That means that these are a child of the page Double Adobe, and Double Adobe is a child of the AZ build. So we'll be building that AZ builds page as well afterward. Normally, though, we're just going to be sending customers direct emails with a link. And so they can get right onto their page, see the latest one, and then see all of those other previous ones as well. So this morning I was going through and doing some of the, the editing and the page layout. And let's go ahead and use North Double Adobe. I'm going to go in and edit this with Pro. So this is the visual editor. So one of the things I've been struggling with, and this is going to happen to you as well when you're doing these types of things, newer versions of Xtheme have come out. Xtheme is my page builder, and I've used them for a very long time. Overall, I like their stuff, but occasionally when they do their updates and move buttons around on me and change presets on me, they tick me off a little bit. So I had to actually put in a trouble ticket with them yesterday because I could not get rid of some of this extra spacing between block to block. And my apologies for the phone ringing. I do have it on vibrate in my pocket. I am waiting for an insurance adjuster from Geico to call me. So I meant to say this earlier. So if I bail off the live stream, it's because I'm waiting for a check from Geico for the damages to my Airstream. And this thing's been dragged out way too long and seems like it's going to be dragged out even longer. My Airstream took damage on July 11th here with a giant hailstorm. And took over 2 weeks to get Geico to respond to me just to talk about scheduling something. Took a month before we had an adjuster take a look at the Airstream. And then we are having to go through a process with the DMV for relabeling the Airstream as a restored salvage or salvage vehicle in order to take payment from Geico. It's this crazy thing. Believe me, I was at the DMV on Wednesday. The folks who booked my appointment did it wrong. So at this point, my Airstream has a salvage title on it now. I can't drive it anywhere, and I need an inspection to show that it's still roadworthy and that we can still utilize it. Absolute nightmare with the DMV. So now the Airstream is an anchor for the moment until we can get someone to inspect it. And apparently, inspections at the DMV in Prescott, Arizona are only done on Tuesdays, and apparently they're booked out for months. So it's going to be a while before the Airstream hits the road, which is something that's messing with the vacation I'm supposed to be taking next week. So there we go. Sorry, the personal stuff, but it all ties back to the business as well. Because the Airstream is also my mobile studio for when we're doing work with clients. So anyways, where we were here, I had to find out how I could reduce the spacing between some of these things. So that's why some of the pages don't look consistent with others. But now I got my explanation yesterday from Xtheme as to what they had done. So I have to go into their section and change padding. Then I've got to change the row padding, and I've got to change the text box paddings. It's a lot of extra make work that has not improved Xtheme for me. It's actually harmed my feelings about Xtheme, and I let them know that in my forum support request. So anyways, we go through, we do these builds, we can actually embed the video, we can embed 3D models, we can embed slideshows, whatever you like to do. Most likely you can do it no matter what web builder you're using. Like I said, a lot of people use Squarespace, and there's a lot of tools out there for Squarespace. So you don't have to jump right on the WordPress bandwagon, but that's what I've been using for years. And when I do a lot of the instructional stuff on Patreon, I am using WordPress as my demo. But like I've said to the folks on the Patreon channel, if they're working with other builders and would like to share some of that, web builders, and would like to share some of that with us for both YouTube presentations and the Zoom presentations, I'm totally on board with that. So, all right, so that's what I've been doing this morning. Let me hit that key again. So literally, I'm not exaggerating. These are all the windows that I have up when I'm building these pages. So if I had just gotten back to the office from doing a client project, I would offload all the images. I would offload the video, have my lunch, and then I would start. I always start with my still images. The still images for ortho, mosaics, and models, I hit those first. I hit the pretty still images, you know, the attractive ones that show off the property. Those are second. We do the editing. Once I get all that editing done, I then move on to the video side of things. And once again, organizationally, I don't know what I'd do without Kino. So as you can see in here, I can't really do a good zoom in, but for this particular client, we've got multiple properties below it. So we have each of the different flights. Kino keeps track of the flight dates for me as well. And then I also do tags on all the stuff in Kino so that I can find these things faster. And then I can just zip these right on up as well. So it's looking a little less messy. By the way, you can tell Kino to show you every single video you have in a particular folder. Or you could also turn that feature off in the upper left corner. I can just turn off this little orange down arrow, and we could just go folder by folder. Or I can actually do my searches right in here. And if I've been diligent about tagging things appropriately when I first import them, I can find them really, really fast. So yeah, after I'm done with the stills, I get all the video over, I get Kino set up with the video. I go through and I actually take a look at Kino. So I can actually go in here with Kino and I can actually watch the video. There's also a lot of additional tools in here. So we can actually export. We can export audio only if we want to. You know, what we want to do, H.264, HEVC, you know, all different formats. We also have setups for editing as well. And I can take what I've done in Kino and quickly move it over into Final Cut Pro. I think I get it, and I think if I were to do a video course on Kino, it would probably be a couple hours long with all the tools and how it integrates with Final Cut for me. And I know that it integrates with other video tools as well. So if you haven't already checked out Kino, go over to their website. They're not a sponsor. So I always try to share the tools that are working for me with folks on channel. So that's always very important to me, because if you get good recommendations of tools that make your life easier, hey, you can share it with others too. So, and then finally, you can also see, like in my Final Cut, we've got several different libraries. A library from doing my latest Mavic Map Pilot series on utilizing Map Pilot Pro. And then we've got other Final Cut items as well. Occasionally, I have to go in here and clear through some of these libraries for older stuff. Especially, you know, I archive all of my class videos as well. So there you go. That's what I've been working on today. And before I hop on off of here or anything, I just want to say, so things in the background have changed. The green screen is gone. One of my lights died, and it wasn't just a bulb, the light itself died. So I've only got one of the big soft boxes over on this side. So the green screen was really looking weird with shadows down at the bottom and things. And I said, you know what? Let's just go ahead and have the studio space in the background. So I'll slide on over for a sec just to say Pelican case, Pelican case, Pelican case. More over here on this side too. Then we've got all the drones, all the smaller drones in here, the big ones over behind me. And then we've got other photography gear and things here as well. So I just moved it all over, and it's kind of easier because I can just whip around now, set things on the charging station when I need to. And I can roll back and forth on my roller chair, and I'm easily entertained. So that's fun for at least 10 or 15 minutes. But yeah, so the other day I said, I just need to change things around. Let's pull the green screen down. And mostly we're talking through, how to do these things. And oftentimes I'll just be having myself off screen too, especially when we're, working with different software. So you can also see, in this one of the last videos, some of our time lapsing work. I love that quick little rotation through there. And I actually got a lot of response from multiple construction workers that they absolutely love that quick little spin. Such a simple thing, but if you can spice things up just a little bit, your clients will share it with other people. So more and more, like I said, we've got some other construction groups looking into working with us because of what we've been doing for the other guys that they work alongside with. So, there's always competition between, between different companies. But in this area, there's so much new home construction going on. I don't think anyone's feeling competitive with each other because there's more work than there are people to get the work done. All right, everyone, I'm going to shut the Final Cut Pro down here, and I am going to go ahead and take myself off this. This was a totally impromptu video because as I was wrapping up on the pages I was building, I just hit my little, my little screen sorter here. And I said, this is all the stuff that I am using whenever we're doing these things. So we can shut Photoshop down now as well. But so there are a lot of tools that we utilize to get these jobs done. So it's not just building the web page. You need to edit photos. You need to edit videos. You need to assemble 2 and 3D models. You need to assemble your 360s. So at the end of the day, you're going to be using multiple software packages for the final delivery for your clients. Now, even if you don't do custom web pages like we do, you still need to provide them quality products. If you're dropping things to them in Dropbox or Google Drive, most likely you're going to need to do some editing for them. Now, there are groups out there that will contact you, and all they want you to do is shoot the raw footage and send it on to them, and they're going to process all the rest, and that's great. But you should be competent or learning to be competent with both still photography editing tools and video editing tools, because the more that you have in your bag of tricks, the more often you can say to the potential client, yes, I can do that for you. And no, well, I didn't want to pay the Photoshop license fee or this license fee or that license fee, so we don't have that right now. That's a great way to shoo a customer over to somebody else. So if you're not great at that type of editing, take some time, start learning about Photoshop, start learning about Lightroom or Affinity, and then if you want to learn about doing video editing, AV Ultra on YouTube, go to their channel. They've got stuff on Premiere, Adobe's Premiere, and they've got stuff on Final Cut. And a lot of what I've learned over the years started with AV Ultra. So they're not a sponsor of the channel either. They're just another YouTube group, and they do an awesome job with their tutorials to get you up and running quickly with your video editing. So go check them out as well. All right, everybody, have an awesome rest of the day. I'm going to roll my chair back over here in a minute and send off some emails so that I can get some folks chiming in here and letting me know which layouts they like. So the rest of the Friday afternoon, after I get all this sent out, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to take a break. Because like I said, our vacation plans are a little screwed up. I'll talk about that a little more in the near future when we're all ready to talk about Geico. All right, everyone, have an awesome rest of the day. Now I need to find the right place to stop the stream. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and end the stream. And have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you again soon. Thank you very much, Snapshot Drones. Just building all this out right now. All right. Well, drop a note. Let me know how it's going. All right. We'll see y'all again really soon. Have an awesome weekend.